Hello, baseball fans, and welcome. MLB The Show has interleague action for you this afternoon. It's the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the New York Yankees. Okay, Singy, we get to see the best hitter in the league in this one.
Yeah, one of the toughest outs in baseball. No simple formula, but opposing pitchers have to just continue to try and work around the zone. This guy takes advantage of every mistake you make.
First pitch coming your way next. Just about set to go. And on the mound now, Max Fried. What do you have on him?
Well, a very solid ERA last season, just a little over 3. And when you've got a guy like that taking the mound for you, the offense is definitely expected to score 4 runs at least, unless they're really struggling. So more times than not, when he's on the ball, you're going to win the ball game if you just do your part as an offense. So last year, great year. He wants to repeat that or even improve. And I think there is some room for improvement. He's got good stuff. It's just executing from hitter to hitter.
Christian Yelich, the leadoff batter, as he looks at ball 1. Ground ball up the middle. Volpe on the run, throw to first, and very nicely done for the out. Let's take a look at the Brewers lineup. Still early in the season, but so far it has been a struggle for this team, ranking towards the bottom in both on base and runs. They do have some power.
Well, there's a lot of young talent in this lineup. I think as they gel together, gain some maturity over the course of this season, they could be playing October baseball.
Bryce Terang at the plate now. That's ball 1. We talk so much about how starting pitchers prepare for their starts. I talked with Max Fried, and one of the things he told me back in 19, he and Lucas Giolito started using MLB The Show to go over scouting reports. And that is out of play. Max said he's not sure who actually started at first, but it was 2019, and he and Giolito, who were teammates together in high school in Los Angeles, they had the idea to become more familiar with the opposing lineup using MLB The Show. One down, base is empty. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout.
He's locked in at the plate when he's using the whole field. He was out in front there. Just needs to let the ball travel a little more, and his timing will be back on track. Good pitch for the strikeout.
William Contreras stands in now and watches strike 1. Two outs, base is empty. And the sweeper catches the plate.
Oh, this guy's so comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. Even a good pitch early in the at-bat. If he's not ready to pull the trigger, he's not worried if he gets to an 0-2 count.
And that's outside.
I don't know how you take that one after the called strike on the corner, just a little bit off the edge.
One, 2 to Contreras. Got him. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Brewers go down quietly. And now the Bombers will get their shot. No score. It's Major League Baseball on the show. Back in New York. On the hill here today, Nestor Cortes Jr.
Anytime you have 5 pitches to work with on the mound, that repertoire can be a real weapon in terms of keeping hitters off balance, man. It's one of those things that I'm going to be looking for in this one. Does he have a feel for all of those pitches, or is he just able to get 1 or 2 over in the strike zone where he wants? Now, it's tough to do to be able to command all those pitches, but if he can, he is going to be very tough for the opponent today.
Austin Wells, the leadoff batter, as he looks at ball 1. Wells went deep in his most recent game. Lined, and that's a base hit. Man aboard on the leadoff single.
Batting second, the right
Here is Aaron Judge, leading the AL in batting average. And that drops in for a strike.
When you're taking your lead over there at first, you got to be very careful. This guy on the mound's got a good pickoff move.
Judge matched a homer in his last game. Swing and a miss, and he was fooled.
No ball, 2 strikes.
And there's a ball.
Well, he missed badly with that 0-2 fastball. Hitter has to understand, probably wants to try to put him away with that pitch, so got to stay ready for it.
Kicks and fires. Went with the sweeper, but it misses. Runner at first with no outs here. That one is absolutely belted. Back there. Gone. They must be going crazy in the dugout. His second homer of this series. It's 2-0. Chris, he's homered in back-to-back games now.
Yep, seeing the ball well, and he's got his timing locked in. He's looking pretty dangerous at the dish right now. Knew what pitch he wanted to hit. Spit on some other pitches in this at-bat. Was very patient, and it paid off.
And up to the plate comes Cody Bellinger. Fastball for a strike.
Part of the order coming through now, and with 1 home run already in this inning, they're definitely looking to do some more damage.
On the ground at first. He takes it on his own. 1 away. That ground ball may have him back on track after the homer. And time now to check out the New York Yankees lineup. It features a great veteran presence, Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, he's an important part of this lineup for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it, Boog. It's somebody that they try to feed off of. He does a lot of things, very well up there at the plate. He's got a presence about him, and he's a guy that you really kind of like to watch swing the bat.
Paul Goldschmidt, the batter now, as he swings and misses for strike 1. Line drive. Chourio pulls it down, and there are 2 down.
Man, that's one of those at-bats where you have to remind yourself it's about the process. He did everything right there. Nothing to show for it, but in your mind, you have to convince yourself that it was a very good at-bat.
Jazz Chisholm Jr., the next to hit, takes ball 1. Just missed. Bases empty, 2 away, but 2 runs are in here in the second game of the series.
Ball. 3 balls, no strikes.
And now 3-1.
He's given up a couple of runs, but the pitch count really not as high as you would think. Might be able to get through this one under 25 pitches.
2 down, nobody on. That's ball 4. Tried another fastball, but missed the spot.
Pretty easy walk right there. Last pitch wasn't even much to think about.
Batting 6.
And up next for New York, Anthony Volpe. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
1-0.
Chisholm, the runner at first with 2 gone. Pickoff throw, and he dives back in safely. Runner on the go. Pitch misses. And that's a stolen base, not even close. Man at second. In the dirt. Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, look at the stop. Throw to first. And that's a nice play to end the inning. Another look at the long ball for the Yankees. It's now a 2-0 ball game. Here at New Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, now it's going to be Rhys Hoskins. Fried, 31 years old, and he won a Gold Glove in 2022. Max Fried will go to work. Swinging a foul straight back. Fried winds and deals. Hoskins pushes it foul. Fans another, and that's 3 straight strikeouts.
Been a pretty rough start to this series for him at the plate. 3 strikeouts in the first game yesterday. Another one right there. They've clearly got a great plan for how to deal with this guy right now.
Jackson Chourio up now for the Brewers. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. One out, bases empty. To third, Cabrera. Gets it to first. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the second.
This lineup's going to have to find a way to make him work a little harder out there on the mound. I mean, he is just mowing them down. He's settling in. You got to make him uncomfortable. Maybe step out of the box, call timeout, do whatever it takes.
Swing and a base hit. And that keeps the inning alive.
The first move felt like a bit of a guess. You have to be right in those spots or things can get away from you awfully quickly.
Here's the third baseman, Joseph Ortiz. Step off throw to first, and he's back in safely. Ortiz with a homer in his last game. And first offering is fouled off. Got the bat going too soon. It's strike 2.
Filthy changeup right there. Just pulled the string.
Foul ball. It stays 0-2. Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. That completes the strikeout, and that'll do it. Brewers strand 1, and they're down 2-0. Back in the Bronx, here's the left fielder, Jason Dominguez. Dominguez launched a homer in his most recent game. Cortez back to work. Close, but called the ball. 1-0. Late with the swing there.
Threw that fastball right by him, slightly elevated. That's a confidence boost for this guy out there on the mound. See if he continues to climb the ladder.
So a foul ball makes it 1-2. Got him swinging. Ben Rice stepping in now for the Yankees. And a good fastball to start him off. That's strike one.
One strike.
Lifted in the air, left field, pretty well struck. Chourio settles under this one. He's got it, and there's 2 away.
Batting ninth, the third baseman, Oswaldo
Cabrera stepping in now for the Yankees. Just missed.
1 ball, no strike.
And another ball. Next offering is in for a strike.
Looked pretty good as far as being in the strike zone, but I'm sure as a hitter, not too good with where it was located. Very top of the strike zone, middle away.
Swings and hits one in the air out towards right field, and no one can get to it. It's a foul ball. Fly ball center field. Mitchell going after it, corrals it, and that'll do it. After 2, it's a 2-0 ball game. Back in the Bronx, on to the 3rd inning. Up now for Milwaukee, Blake Perkins. On the ground, out to short. And save. He busted it down the line for that infield single.
The effort was there with the jump throw. You gotta love it, but it just wasn't in time. Still a really impressive play just to get to that ball and make it close at first. And not every shortstop could even make that play.
Ground ball right side, could be 2. Goldie to second, back to first, double play. 3-6-3, nicely done.
For me, that's one of the toughest double plays to turn on the infield. The first baseman has to get inside, create a throwing lane to hit that middle infielder to start the double play, and then from there completing it back to first. Really good job all the way around.
Back to the top of the lineup, Christian Yelich. Up now for the Brewers. Swing and a miss. And that misses. And now it's even 1-1. And a strike on the outside edge.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
In the air, left field. And that'll fall for a base hit. So a 2-out knock keeps the inning alive.
Now
this is Bryce Terang.
Bryce Terang.
Cracks his bat and pops him up. And that is that. Milwaukee leaves one. They trail it here 2-0. Back at Yankee Stadium, bottom of the inning. Here's the Yankees catcher now, Austin Wells. That one close, ruled a ball. And that's ball 1. And that's too high. That one finds the zone, and a count 2-1. That one missed. Swing and a ball lined out towards center. Pulls it in on the run. And there's one down.
That was just a great jump and route to the ball. Well, it had to be. If he was going to cover all that ground and bring in that sinking liner, that's the way it had to be done. Nice job.
Judge rips that one. Mitchell under it. Hauls it in for the out. And there's 2 down.
The center fielder, number 35. Cody
2 down, base is empty.
Bellinger.
And stepping in for the Yankees, Cody Bellinger. Grounded out his first time. Outside corner, there's a strike. And that is cut on and missed. And it's 0-2.
Man, that was pretty gross right there.
Outside. And a count 1-2.
0-2 pitch that far out of the zone gives the hitter a little confidence that maybe he can climb back into this at bat.
Line to the left center field, and that's going to fall for a hit. Joey gets on base and keeps it going.
He went up there and got it with 2 strikes. I'm not going to leave this in the umpire's hands. I'm going to be aggressive. It was in a location where you could get those arms extended that he loves to do. So nice job right there coming back in that at bat.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt. Slapped hard the other way, but foul. And that one hammered. That's back there. Brings it back on a leaping catch. Wow.
A lot of room in the center field area, and that's why he knows he's got a chance to run it down and make a great play. Leaps at the fence. Excellent job. Robs the home run to end the inning.
And we're back. And now the catcher comes up to hit. William Contreras. In for a strike. 0-1.
Well, these Brewers, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. They're chasing a lot of pitches outside the zone, and those chases are turning into a bunch of outs. Can they turn that around and stay within the zone? We'll see, but I think they have to.
Ball to strike. Fouled off. He was late. That misses, and that's ball 2. And a foul ball. He stays alive. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. He picks up his 5th strikeout on the hill.
Well, I'm not sure what he was waiting on right there. He got the changeup and still late on it. You rarely see that. It almost makes you think that he was trying to set the pitcher up. I mean, if you can't catch up to the off-speed stuff, there's no way you're going to touch a fastball.
And here is Hoskins inside. Ball 1. Just missed. The Yankees leading by 2. Top half of inning number 4. Swing and a miss. And it's 2-1 now. Hoskins pushes it foul.
His eyes got big. He saw that changeup way out in front. Better to pull it than to get jammed on something off speed like that.
Close, but called a ball. And it's a full count. Gets a piece and stays alive.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
3-2. The pitch is outside, and ball 4.
Boog, if I were him, I'd be nibbling around the plate as well. I mean, this guy is just capable of hitting pitches outside of the zone and driving them a long way.
Chourio in the box with 1 away as he takes ball 1. Hoskins, the runner at first with 1 gone in the inning. Next offering upstairs.
2-1.
Swings through that one out in front that time. Not close with that one, and that's ball 3. On the ground to the left. To second, that's 1. Over to first, that's 2. Nicely done. 1-6-3, and that will end the inning. Offense held in check there. On now to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Yankees 2 and the Brewers nothing. Back for more from the Bronx. Now it's the second baseman, Jazz Chisholm Jr.
Chisholm Jr.
A little bit high, and it's 1-0.
You know, these Yankees doing a great job, Boog, of just waiting for the right pitch to come their way, and I'm seeing very patient at-bats out of them. They're doing a good job of working the pitch count, and they've been able to push a couple of runs across to score as well.
There's a strike.
Still relatively early, but with the pair of runs already on the board, the ripple effect of that high pitch count might set them up to do more damage later in this game.
And that's off the inside edge. 3 balls and a strike. Swing and a foul out of play. That's ripped. Base hit. Takes the turn. He's digging for second. The throw in. Not in time. That's a leadoff double.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Anytime you rip a line drive the other way, you feel really good about what you did at the plate. You trusted your hands, you let the ball travel, and you took the barrel straight to it. That's great work right there.
And next for New York, Anthony Volpe. 0 for 1 so far. In the air, right field. Drops into the glove. Runner tags at second, and he makes it up to third with one away.
The left fielder, number 24,
Jason Dominguez digs in now. His first at bat was a strikeout.
Ball, no.
Right through there for a strike. One away with a runner at third. We're here in the bottom of the fourth. Hit on the ground to short. Monasterio slings to first. Now 2 away as they get a run across.
So important to really lock in on an at-bat like this. It seems easy with the infield back, but you've got to make sure you put the ball in play. Put it on the ground, brought that run in.
So now here's the DH, Ben Rice. First pitch misses. To the right side, Hoskins. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. We're headed to the 5th. Yankees 3 and the Brewers nothing. Welcome back. Quite a pitcher's duel so far. Here's how the starters have performed up to this point.
Mitchell.
Freed back to work. Fastball is outside.
Well, these Brewers need to bring up the quality of their at-bats and specifically their swings. They're trying to find ways to drive the ball with some authority, but it's just not happening for them so far. 0 extra base hits in the game, so it's been tough for them to get anything going.
And a 1-1. Called strike, a sinker at the bottom of the zone.
Sometimes you have to keep chipping away until you break through, but it's a lot easier to put runs on the board when you have runners in scoring position because they put themselves there.
That's a ball. Tried to attack with a sweeper. That one just misses.
Expect for that guy to come right at you with a fastball, something in the zone, because he does not want to allow the leadoff walk.
Swing and a line drive, base hit out into center field, and the leadoff man aboard.
The third baseman, number 3, Joseph.
Next
Ortiz.
for Milwaukee, Joseph Ortiz. Just missed. Ortiz in his second season, 26 years old, and he was drafted in the 4th round back in 2019. That one down the line, and foul ball.
This is one of those situations defensively where you can't try to do too much. You got to make sure that you field the ball cleanly and get 1 out first. It's going to be tough to get 2 with this kind of speed in the batter's box.
That clips the inside corner for a strike. Foul ball, still a 1-2 count. Yankees up by 3. Swing and a miss. No advance. Good job behind the dish.
The batter, The right fielder.
Next for the Brewers, Blake Perkins. Reached on an infield single his first time. Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
Just a bit tardy there. Not sure if he had a hard time picking it up out of the hand or if he was sitting off speed.
Freed, keeping him close. Inside, just missed. On the ground left side, 6, 4, 3. It's a double play, and that'll do it for the inning. Still nothing on the scoreboard for him after 5. Yankees 3 and the Brewers nothing. Back at Yankee Stadium, and now it's switch hitting third baseman Oswaldo Cabrera. And first offering is fouled off.
You know, these Yankees, digging into their numbers, have to be happy with the swings they're taking. They've hit 7 line drives already, and even though some of them have been for outs, there's nothing wrong with delivering consistent, hard contact. That's almost always going to lead to positive results.
Not even close there. 2-1. Hit in the air, center field. Mitchell has this one sized up, and there's one down.
The catcher, number 28.
And here comes the Brewers manager to the mound. Pitching change coming. Nestor Cortez Jr. Done for the day. Just never found his groove. Wasn't able to settle in. New arm coming on. Back in a moment.
Now pitching for
the Brewers bring on a new pitcher from the pen, Aaron Ashby.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
Back to the top of the Yankee order, Austin Wells will hit next. Singled and scored back in the first. He's 1 for 2. Line drive, caught.
That swing right there tells me he's seeing the ball pretty well. I know it didn't produce a hit, but he made solid contact, and that's all you're looking to do anytime you're at the plate.
Aaron Judge comes to the plate now. We think of home runs when we see Judge, which makes sense because, well, he hits a lot of them.
Yeah, you're right about that, Boog. In fact, Judge hit 300 home runs before he reached 1,000 hits. The only other player in MLB history to do that was Mark McGwire.
I think of home runs with that guy, too.
Yeah, same.
And it's fouled away.
Well, this is a good time to step out of the box, take a deep breath, reset. A couple of change-ups. Probably won't see another one here.
Missed with a changeup, and the count is 2-2. And that's down and away.
He should get a pretty good pitch to hit here with the 3-hole hitter coming up if he's walked.
Judge waits. Out to short, Monasterio. Sends it across to first. That's the 3rd out. Inning over. So they make short work of him there. 5 innings complete. Yankees 3 and the Brewers nothing. Back now in the Bronx. Start of the 6th, John Sciambi with Chris Singleton. And leading off, Andrew Monasterio. Check swing, and he went. And that's strike 1. Up the middle. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. No play. That's an infield single.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Christian Yelich.
So the lineup flips over, and now it's Christian Yelich. First pitch, and he just misses.
Now, these guys definitely looking for a big swing of the bat right here. Try to close that gap. But, you know, at the very least, if you could find a way to manufacture that run from first, it feels like it's really important to getting back into this ballgame. Boog, the runner at first, needs to be careful right here. He's dealing with a pickoff artist on the mound.
Freed out of the stretch, fires. That one finds the corner, and it's 1-2. Spoils a 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. Monasterio gets his lead at first with nobody out. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and he's up to 7 strikeouts. Up now for Milwaukee, Bryce Terang.
Taken high in the draft, he's had that top prospect label over him since he put on a professional uniform. But at some point, that starts.
Volpe on to second. They get one. Over to first, safe.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
The batter, the catcher,
William Contreras. Up now for the Brewers. 0 for 2 in this one. Slow curveball drops in for a strike.
Well, if he's going to steal second, you want him to go early in the count. That way he's not a distraction to the hitter at the plate. Go ahead and get it out of the way so the hitter can focus on the pitch.
The Yanks leading by 3, and we're in the top half of the 6th. And that drops in for a strike.
And a bat like this is almost over as it begins. In this situation, you have no idea what the next pitch is going to be. You just got to hope that you can make contact.
To the right side, and that's just foul. On the ground, right side, Chisholm. Fires over to first. That's out number 3. Make it 6 shutout innings for him out there now. Yankees 3, and the Brewers nothing. Back in New York, ready to go for the last half of the inning. And now here is Cody Bellinger. Yeah, that's fouled off. Cut on and missed 96 with that fastball.
This guy's got such a good sinker. As a hitter, you've got to look up in the zone. If you look down, you're going to be chasing stuff in the dirt.
Down to the dirt, swing and a miss. Gets to it on to first. In time to get him. One away in the strikeout.
You hear people talk about letting the ball travel so often in terms of a hitting approach, and that's a great example why right there. If he's willing to let that curveball get a little deeper into the zone before he commits, he's way more likely to recognize that it's making a beeline for the dirt. On the other side, still a nice 2-strike pitch, though.
Goldie in the box here. Lets that one go for a ball. Base is empty, one away here in the bottom of the 6th. Swing and a miss, and 1-1. Smoked on the ground to second. Terang over to first in time, and they get Goldschmidt for the out.
Now batting, the second baseman,
Jazz Chisholm Jr. stepping in now for the Yankees. Up the middle, and that chance handled. Out number 3. Nothing doing for the offense that time. 7th inning coming up. Yankees 3 and the Brewers nothing. Back in the Bronx, and it's Rhys Hoskins up to the dish. The Brewers in striking distance, but have some work to do.
Boog, it starts with the leadoff man. I need a good at bat out of him right here.
And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike.
Swings through that one for strike 2.
Another 0-2 count right here. Pitcher just in the driver's seat. He can go anywhere he wants to go right here.
Swing and a ground ball, and that one handled. The throw to first, 1 up, 1 down.
That play won't be trending on social media later on, but it's still important to execute it to perfection. This game is a lot harder than it looks, partner.
Jackson Chourio up now for the Brewers. Singy, you got to appreciate a guy who's this good defensively. I mean, watching him track balls in the outfield, it is beautiful. First pitch just misses.
He's so solid, calms the heart rate of the pitcher and the manager when the ball goes up in the air. You just automatically assume that it's an out every time it's hit in the air. There's one guy that I can think about, Boog, who started as a third baseman, Alex Gordon, and then became an elite perennial gold glover out in left field for the Kansas City Royals. But he's a guy, when you watch him play, you would imagine that that's all he ever played in his life was the outfield.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Strikeout number 8.
Well, that's a blue zone right there, or the cold zone on the hitting chart. Just doesn't have much success in that part of the strike zone. And a really good job of the pitcher executing. Try to go there as often as you can. The numbers are in your favor.
Strike 2. And down on strikes he goes. And a nice inning of work there as he sets him down 1-2-3. Nobody left for Milwaukee. Still down 3-0.
Now pitching for
We're back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the 7th. Jared Koenig.
Jared Koenig.
So digging in,
Leading
Anthony
Volpe.
You talk about elite defensive players, especially in the middle of the diamond, and this guy is at the top of the list. And that clips the inside corner. And you played behind guys, and they loved having your speed out there defensively. One of the things that we talk about is how much pitchers enjoy having those elite defenders behind them.
Boog, and the one thing about that is speed never goes in a slump, and defense shouldn't either. Hitting-wise, you can struggle, you can lose your mechanics, but the thing that you can do consistently every single game is play great defense if you're talented in that way, and this is what this guy does.
Jason Dominguez getting ready to hit. And first offering is fouled off. Center field. Mitchell gets under it. And there's 2 down.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Ben.
2 outs, base is empty. Ben Rice, the next to hit. And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. Movement in the bullpen. Ryan Hudson getting ready to go. Hyams getting loose as well. Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit. And that extends the inning.
He was all over that one. He wasn't able to elevate it, but he put a great swing on it. Right on time, good balanced approach, and just blasted it through the infield.
And up next for New York, Oswaldo Cabrera. Out towards left center. Mitchell sizing this one up. Squeezes it, and that's the inning. One hit, one left. We look ahead to inning number 8. Yankees 3 and the Brewers nothing.
Now pitching.
Welcome back, and a new arm on the mound to start the 8th. Luke Weaver. He's making his second appearance of the season. Up now for Milwaukee, Joseph Ortiz.
Number 3.
When you talk about elite defensive third baseman, this guy is at the top of the list. And the first offering a fastball for a strike.
Stud. When you look at players like this, you play that hot corner, got to be pretty courageous over there with the way balls come off the bat. That's the kind of guy that every year you expect him to be in the All-Star game and have a Gold Glove, if not a Platinum Glove.
Brings it in, and there's one down.
The right fielder, number 16,
Blake Perkins. Up now for the Brewers. 1 for 2. Fouls one off out of play, back to our left.
Got to keep things airtight defensively right here. On your toes, ready to make a play. If you can get this to the 9th with a 3-run lead, it should be a W.
Swing and a drive, deep right field. That's back. And forget it. And they cut into the deficit. It's 3-1.
That was one of those home runs where you really don't know if he got enough of it off the bat. I mean, he put a good swing on it clearly, but I wouldn't say he really got the sweet spot on the bat. The exit velo wasn't anything too impressive, but it had all it needed for him to circle the pillows.
Now a chance for Andrew Monasterio. Pitches in there, and it's 0-1. One out, base is empty, and a run in, and we're in the top of the 8th. Way out front for strike 2.
And he really sells the changeup with that arm action.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Well, that's a curveball that people like to describe as a hammer or Uncle Charlie, and you can see why. It's not a looping slow curve. He throws it hard, and it gets plenty of bite on the end.
Yelich in the box with 2 gone, and takes a look at a called strike.
Looking very settled on the mound here in the 8th. One more out, and they'll probably hand it off to their closer for the 9th with at least a 2-run lead.
Next offering down in the dirt. Just misses with that one.
Great job of laying off those pitches down in the zone to even the count up at 2-2. Such a better feeling for the hitter.
On the ground. Chisholm on to first. They don't come much closer than that. Bang, bang play to end the inning. But not before they answer back with a solo home run. And this is now a 3-1 ball game. You're watching Major League Baseball on The Show. And welcome back to the ballpark. On to the bottom of the 8th. And here's the catcher, Austin Wells. Koenig back to work. Right through there for a strike. Koenig goes 6 feet 5 inches. He features a sinker, a cutter, a curve, and he works in a changeup. Swing and a miss.
0-2.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
That's a pretty nasty pitch right there. I'd call it a power curveball in the 80s. It's got so much spin on it, and you really don't have a lot of time to sit back and watch what it's going to do before you have to commit. It was a good one for the swinging strikeout.
Bouncer to Hoskins. Steps on first for the out.
Now batting, the center fielder, Cody.
Here's Cody Bellinger. 1 for 3. High in the air, out to right. Perkins sizes this one up. That is the inning.
Now pitching
back
for the
now,
New York Yankees.
And on the mound, the closer, Devin Williams. He comes in with a chance for his second save of the season. Now the number 2 hitter, Bryce Terang. 0 for 3 in this one. Fought off foul. Now a check swing, but he held up. Foul ball there.
Some real good life going through the zone on that one.
Swing and a chopper out to short. Volpe throws to first in time, and they get the leadoff man in the 9th.
That's a huge defensive play in the late stages of the game. It might not be the most challenging we've seen today, but it needed to be made. That's helping your team.
Contreras in now, takes ball 1 off the plate. Tap foul at the plate. Just missed.
You get to this part of the order. Yeah, there's some pop there, but more likely there's some base hits. So very important to be patient. Let the pitcher walk you if he will.
In the air, right field. And it gets by him. Bounces over the wall in foul ground. It's an automatic double.
Well, there's something really nice about getting yourself an automatic double like that. You get to stroll into second base without having to worry about a throw or getting your uniform dirty. And now you're just looking for the next guy to kind of do the same thing. Maybe put one in the gap so you can jog home as well.
Hoskins up to bat next. Lays off for a ball. With the tying run at the plate, here at the top of the 9th. That's smacked on a line to center. And no one can get there. The relay, and he's safe. So it's first and third with 1 down.
Now, just a nice job coming through in a pretty high leverage spot right there. That's about as textbook as it gets. Got his stride and load out of the way early. He stayed inside that ball and squared it up out front. Man, that was like he was in the cage hitting off a tee. Really important at bat coming up now.
Tries to check his swing, but he makes contact. There's 1, and that's all they'll get.
Those plays can be tricky. They're routine, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be smooth. He delivered a good play right there.
So it's their last chance in this one. Garrett Mitchell up now for the Brewers. He's one of the faster guys just by pure sprint speed in the majors. That catches the top part of the zone. 0-1. Contreras, the runner at third. Chourio on at first with 2 down. That misses the zone, and the count is 1-1.
You don't want to get beat by a fastball in, and he spits on that one.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. Williams is just one strike away. That missed by a lot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him! And that is the ball game.
3-1 ball game, quick game. We were looking for a little bit more. It seemed at points the offenses were going to break out, but a total of 4 runs combined. Really good pitching and defense on both sides. Just a couple of key swings making all the difference.
And your final 3-1 for Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show. I'm John Shambi. Thanks for joining us.